another video episode. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and crochet and books that I'm reading or listening to and TV or movies that I am watching and other life and general chatty things that I want to share with you. Thank you so very much for choosing to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I really hope that you enjoy it. Please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage, and grab your yarn, your hook, your needles, or your embroidery, or whatever you want, and let's enjoy some nice time together. So today is Monday, August 3rd, and tomorrow is our primary election in Washington State, which is where I live, where I am recording this. And so, yeah, I spent some time the last couple of days working on my ballot and looking at the pamphlet and choosing my candidates. I turned it in at the collection today. So that is all done. I am really glad that I can vote, and I think it's very important, and I hope that any of you who have the chance to vote in your elections whenever they come around, I hope that you get excited about that too. Yeah. So, tea I am enjoying today in my favorite mug. I love this mug so much. I'm so happy I got it. I'm enjoying some green tea with pomegranate today. It's just from the grocery store, from Bigelow Tea Company, in a tea bag, but it's very nice and refreshing on a hot summer day. We are still in the heat wave. Yeah, it is definitely high summer here, and so yes. So how are you doing? I hope that your week went well, and I hope that you are doing well wherever you are. I just have one crafting project to share with you. I've been crocheting on that lace scarf that I started and showed you last week. Here I am in the mesh section, which is looking really strange right now. I am not sure how this is gonna work. I'm hoping that when I come back and start this again, it will hold this mesh in that wants to like spread out so far. Hope it'll hold it in at the top, and then, you know, at the end when you block it and it's wet and you can stretch it, so instead of spreading out so wide, it might spread out a little longer instead. Gonna test that theory. Anyway, we'll find out. Otherwise, I'll just take out the mesh and go back to here and just continue with this chart and just do that. Yeah, the thread that I'm using, this was not designed to do with thread necessarily. I think it was a thicker yarn that this was designed with. So it may be just with this cotton thread and the hook size that I'm using, the gauge is just weird, and the mesh gauge and this lace gauge with this particular size thread do not work. I know, we'll find out. But that's where I am right now. And that's all the crafting. It's been a pretty busy week. There's been a lot to keep on top of. So I've been doing my best, and I am relying heavily on my bullet journal. Yes, yes, yes. It is helping me keep things together and keep on track of all those little things. Yeah. Also, a good amount of reading. More reading than crafting, I think, this week. Which is good. That's a good thing. So I am about halfway through the audio book that I got from the library last week, The Deep by Rivers Solomon, which is amazing. Oh, that book is, the prose is beautiful. The story is intense and beautiful. There is a lot to it. It's a novella. I think it's only like 150 pages. I'm listening to the audio, but I think the paper copy, the page count is around 150 or 170 pages. So, but man, it every word counts, and it packs a punch. And it's a story about mermaids. And the origins of the mermaids are that they are the descendants of slave women who were pregnant and thrown overboard on the passage across the Atlantic to get to the United States. So on the slave ships being transported, the ship captains didn't really want to deal with their pregnancies and couldn't handle. Anyway, they were just too much. They just tossed them over, and their babies became mermaids. These mermaids, and it's a story about trauma. There is, because of their origin and where they came from, their memories are very traumatic, and they have like a generational memory, all the way back to the first mer people. But you know, to help them, like, living with all that trauma and all those memories is really too much. So they forget. But there is one who is designated to be the historian, and she keeps all of the memories that have been passed down from all of the mer people. And it is a very heavy, heavy, heavy burden. And in the beginning of the novel, she needs to escape from it. She's like, I can't carry this anymore. I can't. And so she gives them back their memories, because they do have an annual ritual that once a year they remember. Everybody remembers. But then they forget again, and the historian takes it all back and carries it the rest of the time. So she runs away after the start of the ritual and leaves them in the middle of all of the memories, and she escapes and seeks to leave it all behind, because it's killing her. Really, all carrying all that is just killing her, and she just can't. And yeah, so that's how it starts. And wow. I also went back to pick up one of the audiobooks I was listening to before, which is The Clockmakers Daughter by Kate Morton. And I am enjoying that again too. I was a little nervous after taking such a long break from it that I would be a little bit lost, because this book is a lot. There are so many points of view, so many characters, different times, and so I was a little nervous that I might need to go back a ways, but I am able to get back into it, and I'm not lost, so that's good. That's a relief. I don't have to start over. But yeah, it's a really great book. I am just over halfway through now, and it's getting to, we're deep in the heart of it now, and I'm liking it more and more as we go. So I can't wait to see what else comes in the second half, and how all the connections are made between all these things, and what the reveals are. Yeah, it's great. And watching, I'm continuing in that Warrior Nun series. I watched a couple more episodes this week, and I know I don't think I'm at the part where other people that I've seen review it say it starts to really like step up. I think I'm still in the part where the main character is driving me crazy just a little bit. Although I can understand it. It does make sense, but I'm like, could we have gotten through that stage a little bit quicker though? Really? So yeah, I think we'll come to that turning point and get to and we'll see how much better it gets in the second half of the series, and how much I really like it, and if I want to keep going if it gets a second season. I also watched a movie last night that I really enjoyed. I watched the review and I'm like, I'm gonna watch that tonight. I got really excited to watch it. The Old Guard, or is it just Old Guard? Anyway, it's a movie on Netflix, and it's starring Charlize Theron. It's got a really good cast. The rest of the cast is really good too. Faces I recognized from other things, like he was one of the he was like um the Black Ops agent in Serenity, the Firefly movie. He's really good. He was in this, and oh yeah, it's not it's not an unusual, it's kind of a typical comic book kind of a story with a group of basically a group of immortals. They're immortal, although not permanently immortal. Eventually they won't heal and come back, but it lasts a very long time. But it doesn't always last the same time. So they never know like how many centuries or how when it's going to like their healing and immortalness will run out. But there's a small group of them, and they kind of are a team to themselves, and they try to do good things. They try to rescue people, make sure the right side wins in conflicts, and they act kind of like a special ops team. They all fight like crazy. And so they're kind of like a special ops mercenary team that chooses like their jobs where they think they can do something good and tip the balance, but they still don't see that the world is getting any better, even though they've been trying for so long. So it's rough anyway. But and then the bad guys are trying to capture them so that they can learn about their abilities and make a lot of money off of it. And then they also find a new immortal just emerged. Yeah. And so they track her down, but they're also running from the guys that just found out about them, and now we're trying to capture them and torture them and do medical tests and try and make miracle drugs and things and a lot of money from them. Anyway, it's a story that's not really a new story. It has the typical things you would expect, but it's well done. The cast is really good. The writing is good. The production values are pretty good. The fight scenes are really good. And it's just well done. No surprises, but it's done on a really good level. And I really enjoyed it. The Old Guard. And they did set up for a second movie, like, you know, to begin a franchise. So we'll see if this, we'll see if they decide to make a second movie and see if this has franchise ability. I think it could be a fun franchise. I would want to watch a second one for sure. I would. But no idea. No idea if that will happen. But they did set up for it just in case. And yeah. So one special thing I did do this weekend on Friday night, my sister and I had a video game night. We got on Zoom and we played Cards Against Humanity together. And I've never played the game. But I've heard a lot of people talk about it. And it's supposed to be hilarious. And well, it is quite funny, but also it pushes the boundaries for sure. There are some cards I might want to throw out of the deck, I think. And I definitely, especially with all the cards included, I definitely would be careful who I played the game with, because there are people I definitely would not want to go there. Basically, it's kind of like crazy Mad Libs. Definitely not safe for work. But we also my sister also told me about a game she wanted me to get because she played it with her friend. Anyway, and I got it. I ordered it. It came. It's called Fairy Tale Flux. And I can't wait to try it. She said it's really kind of crazy. And basically it's called Flux because the rules change all the time. You start with one set of rules, and then you draw a card that changes the rules to the opposite. Or, so, anyway, the rules change all the time. So you just go with the flow and with the draw the cards. And I know, in the 80s, Mary Engelbreit was a really popular artist. And Mary Engelbreit, her name is right here at the top. Mary Engelbreit did pictures. She did the art for the cards. And the theme of the game and the theme of the art is fairy tales, which, you know, if you've seen my videos before, if you've seen a couple of my videos, you know I love fairy tale and fantasy everything. So like here we have the Genie of the Lamp. Here we have Merlin's Tower. So, yeah, the cards are really cute in that, like, really retro 80s, like, Mary Engelbreit, really cute style. And I am excited to give this game a try. It sounds like a hoot. Like, and it sounds pretty fast-paced and fun. Yeah, so maybe this coming week, maybe we'll try this one on Friday. We'll see. Anyway, I think that's all I have. Yeah, so take care. Be well. I hope you and your loved ones are doing well and safe. And I hope that all your creative projects are going well and that they are turning out the way that you envision. And see you next time. Bye-bye.